Society. So today we'll be playing Hello Girl, which is a visual novel that I did feature on my main channel. It does allow me to continue from the demo, but I am going to go ahead and start a new game just because I'm not sure how much game there is or quite remember how far it went. But I do remember the general premise. But let's go ahead and get started. The meaning of suffering. This dream. I've only ever known this dream. The only thing I can think about is this dream. And yet, it doesn't seem correct to call it a dream. If this dream is aching, torturous, agonizing, there might be another word for it. Do dreams mangle you? Do dreams rip away at your skin? Do dreams put you in the hospital? This is no dream. This is a curse. I've lost touch with many things over the decades. The images I see in the mirror, for one. In my past one I ask, what am I seeing? 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, sure. But something doesn't come together. Something doesn't fit right. It's not human. And I definitely don't see something that anyone could ever truly love. Maybe I shouldn't have ever been given eyes, because when I see my reflection, a role model, a star, a personality, a celebrity, and above all else, an idol. On the radio, on the television, the talk of the nation, me. It should have been me. It should have been me! Alright, Yuki, calm down. There was no error. There were no errors. Every audition, every rehearsal, every scene, every interview, every composition, every note, every performance, every song, every album. Complete, perfect, correct, flawless. And yet, I'm here. Bathtub full of vomit and blood. Drowning in my own special brand of hell. This isn't what an idol does. We're not sure if it'd be received well. You just don't have the right look. Maybe further down the line. They were all right. I'll only ever be this dot, and not even one on any radar. A speck of dust in the corner unnoticed. Nobody. Shambling around in the dark. Haha. It's easier to stay in bed, counting my losses. The days on the stage, the minor role in that commercial. When my song was on the radio, things were going somewhere. Trajectory. I was on a path. The next interview was up. Manager called me up. An important meeting with the producer. They're interested in me. I was so happy. Telling myself that lie again, that I was happy. Was that ever something I believed at the time? Well, I know now I preferred that world. The safe world where I can dream, turn over and go back to sleep. If the dreams became more vivid, if I confused them for reality, I can't see this as a bad thing. Everyone is worried. I know that. I can see it in their eyes. Don't say anything, but I know. Their smile is growing thinner at the sight of me. They can't possibly understand what it's like to be this way. I was on my way home from the store. A van parked outside the house. I've seen them before. They try and hide, but I know why they are here. To study me. They've been doing this for a while now. It's always the same van. They park in different places, but I recognize the license plate. I've tried banging on the window, but they just sit there. Vague figures staring back at me through the tinted glass. They aren't very clever, whatever they're trying to do. When they later showed up at my house, I was ready. I wanted answers. It felt like we were already good friends. I had seen them so many times after all. What they were saying made a lot of sense to me at the time. They said they were there to help me. They help lost children like me. They said they're very interested in having my help. That my dream is one we both share. We can help you unlock your potential. We can help you. We can unlock what has been inside of you. What has been hidden this whole time? You can become something different. Something much, much greater. Hey Vic, welcome to buddy. How you doing today? Indeed, what a game title. Psh, I know that I can't trust them. I know that they are lying to me. I know that, but nothing else has worked. Nothing else has ever worked. The reason I was never able to make it big is because I was never given the right tools, the right training, the right guidance, the right support, the right people. I need new methods. Maybe what I need is not a gentle hand, but a firm one. A guiding one. Tough love. It was all I ever wanted. Somehow they just knew. They knew exactly how I should be living my life. Every goal, every dream, down to the finest details. My guardian angels, truly. It's taking some sacrifices, of course. Nothing's free. Long and painful, invasive and humiliating, sometimes even cruel and meaningless. Every day is a new procedure. I'm always hungry, but eating would cause too many upsets. I'm always thirsty, but drinking will shift the balance. Always tired, but you get the idea. It's a strict regimen. I'm prodded at with instruments, injected with things, made to be a little plaything for them. But I'm not beautiful yet. In fact, I recognize myself even less than ever. But at the end of all this, I will be beautiful. They promised me that. They promised. The suffering, the pain, the humiliation, the indignities, I will put them aside. To me, all of it, the smallest price to pay. It was all necessary to get me here. Of course, I know I'm being used, I'm not stupid. For deadbeats like me, it's the only way. How did I ever think I could make it on my own? It just wasn't possible. But you know, I've made up my mind. This is where I belong. In this place, I will finally become something bigger than myself. Even I can shine bright. When the curtain finally opens before me and the crowd erupts with their pure, untamable love, when they see me at the stage, their screams all as one, a heavenly chorus, a love beam aimed directly toward my heart. That's when I'll know. I'll know that it will have all been worth it. Last night they told me that the last time has finally come. Just a little more. Just a little more. The wait is almost over. Not that I needed a scientist to tell me that. I was born to be here after all. Tomorrow they're going to sculpt me into the finest idol that has ever walked this earth. Tomorrow I will finally become a star. Just ellipses, okay. A lot of ellipses, bunch of question marks. A lot more question marks. Ooh, she's not looking too hot. So this is it. Perfect clarity, perfect focus, perfect resolution. The perfect image of the perfect idol. This is the first time I've ever seen. Nobody ever told me that it could be so beautiful. I bask. I bend in the light. I am a flower blooming in the sun itself, the light itself. I am absolute. And for all of the men who got me here, those who worked tirelessly for a special plan, I have a special surprise in turn. Like a VHS tape. Hello, girl. And here's the intro credits, I guess you'd call them. '99 to 32. Connected. 401, 401 to 406. Connected. 19 to 601. 600, where was that again? I glance over my cabinet, exchanging views of the trunk map. That's on the northern shores, long distance. Distant lovers, perhaps. It's uncommon. Most of the 600 lines aren't in use these days. I can only imagine there's some poor girl out there making local connections. Must be lonely out there, but of course, someone has to do it. It's important work. I look for the patch above my head, the one with the label 6XX. I scoot out of the rolling chair, making my way to the console for 600S with swift steps. Time is always of the essence. I reach for the loose cables hanging from the patch, plugging it into 601. The light stops flashing, now glowing solidly. Connected. I roll back on one of the chairs, the full picture coming into view. Watching over the array of switchboards, numerous lights on the 8 cabinets, all solids, waiting for their flashing light, but nothing else comes up. Fingers tapping impatiently on my thigh. They modulate in a pattern, eager for something to do. What else? What else? The air leaks into my chest, and I realize I've been holding my breath this entire time. My shoulders slink down and I light exhale. I feel the weight of my body in the chair. I become aware of the state of my aching legs, and I leave the discomfort of the chair. It slides away a little out of control, but of course I catch it skillfully with my foot. I lean forward, toward my toes in a stretch. I circle around the room, the stiffness leaving entirely. It's a great day to serve. Affirmations, affirmations. I'm the voice with a smile. That's right. After finishing my boast, I feel listless again. There's still nothing on the monitor, but I won't let emptiness win. I walk over coyly, like hiding something behind my back. I reach for the plug on my headset, rubbing the connector. The logo of Alkaline Corporation rolls between my fingers in deliberation. I reach out like I have so many times before. The contact meets the label for MONIT. The crackle in my headphones let me know that it's been done. I lift the headset over my ears. Connected. Almost like she doesn't want to go out anymore. Well, that's unfortunate. That poor girl. How has she been doing in school? Her teachers are worried about her. I got a call the other day from school. Oh no. She's not participating in class, hasn't been doing her homework. And these days have been so busy I didn't even notice. I get the feeling she's afraid of telling me of how she's doing. And she still asks where mom is, if she's okay when she's coming back. It breaks my heart. I just don't know what I can do for her. Don't know where we can start. It must be tough on her. It's always hard trying to find a way to cheer up the little ones. Yeah. But hey, I know she'll pull through. She's always been a fighter. You know, the other day Bobby fell off his bike and really scraped the heck out of his knee. He cried and cried and cried. Didn't want to go outside anymore. I told him, how about we go and catch a Pencil Beaks game? What'd you think? That's sweet of you. It sure puts a smile on his face. And you know how much he loves a good ball game, always getting so into it, cheering and shouting and jumping up and down. Wonderful day. Almost like he forgot about his knee. He did seem a bit disappointed they didn't seem to have his favorite pitcher and half the team was missing. Probably because of what's going on. Oh, right. I'm not so sure Jamie is into baseball, but maybe she'll like it. Should give it a try. I'll let y'all know when the next game is, okay? I could give you a call. I'm sure Bobby and Jamie would love to play like they always do. Thanks, Mason. Silence. So, how are your old folks doing? They're doing okay, I think. Do you think we should be worried? I don't know. I just get the feeling that something could happen. How'd you mean? Just make sure you're ready. Do your drills. You know, those older folks are especially vulnerable. I'll keep that in mind. Oh yeah, we tried that recipe you gave us the other day. Kids loved it. I'm glad to hear that. Sorry, this is sudden, but there's a customer calling on the other line. Well, don't let me keep you. Take care, okay? We always do. Bye-bye now. See ya. Oh, call disconnected. Connected to another one. Let me lower the game volume a little bit for you guys. See, it is peaking a little bit. I'll lower myself too. Okay, connected. I'm sorry. I told you that I'm sorry. I told you never to call me back. I just don't have anyone else to talk to at the moment. Please, give me a chance here. You've got some nerve, you know that? You think you can just call me and act like nothing ever happened? I just wanted to talk. If you can just hear me out, I'm not going to listen to this. I'm sorry. I'm not taking apologies from you. You had your chance to fix things. Just give me a chance to make it up to you. We could have a drink together, talk about things. I'll even pay for it. Things will be like they used to be. They will never be like they used to be. You know that? I think when you see me again, you'll see that I've changed. You don't come over here. You don't call me. You don't even send me a letter. You just disappear. I had to get my father here. He's got a loaded shotgun and... Oh, call disconnected. I mean, freaky game. Hey, Angie, welcome to the stream, buddy. How you doing today? I'm not supposed to plug in, not unless there is some sort of problem, but after dipping my toes in a little, there seems to be a little consequence. I know it's not really my place to know. I connect, that's my job, but you can't blame me for being curious, alright? If I'm not supposed to do it, they shouldn't have made it so easy. 2 months have already passed since I took on this job. It was hard at first remembering all the steps, the protocols and procedures, but it's actually surprisingly simple. Each call is inbound from the trunk, and it's operator's job to route each one to its destination. I say route, and I mean it in the most literal sense. All you have to do is lift the incoming line from the shelf and plug it into the socket with a light. I'm just one of many operators in Gamut. There are a lot of us. I'm Anna Lapine. I'm the voice with a smile. Since the customers can't see us, we have to put a smile on our voices. Always ready, always happy to help. That's the service you'll come to expect at Alkaline Corporation. This is feeling a little too close to home. It was a respectable profession back then. Every operator would pick up and ask, "Number, please." Operators didn't just connect calls. They would do all kinds of things relating to customer service, scheduling appointments, connecting group calls, and even leaving messages. Sometimes the odd request came in to track down a person based on a very vague description. You'd have to call around to different places to find them, almost like being a detective. I imagine after talking all day, you'd get to know the regulars. Maybe they'd even get to know you. The job used to be complicated, or so my sister told me. Of course, that's all different now. Most people prefer to dial the numbers for themselves. The operators are just there to make sure the calls get through. Must have been nice back then, getting to speak to people from all over the country, and maybe even all over the world. At 6 p.m., the call stopped coming in, marking the end of my day. I unplugged the headset and set it back on the shelf. As the days less right, I make my way around each cabinet to make sure that everything is in its right place. After work, I normally get out of my uniform, hang it up, and slip into something more comfortable, but today I have an errand to run. Every few days, I go out to get the mail. It doesn't deliver out here, so I have to go to the post office in town. I don't know how long it's been this way, but we found a mailbox buried somewhere out in the grasses some time back. It was rusted and the paint was peeling. At some point, I guess it just stopped being worth it all to go all out this way. It only makes sense that we are putting more of our resources into the great effort instead of useless things like convenience of mail delivery. We also learned the name of the previous owner, Bill Walls, was painted on the side of the mailbox. Don't know who he was or what his relation was to Alkaline, but I hope he's doing okay. Well, anyways, I waste no time moving on to the next task. These days are getting shorter after all. The forecast said it would be colder, and I can only agree. The wind chill has really picked up a bit. The air numbs my cheeks and hands. A cloud of vapor takes the heat away from inside as I struggle into my gloves. The grasses sway gently in the wind. The birds have already left for the year. I've started to miss their calls. It's always been quiet out here, even more so this time of year. It's the one thing I can trust to never change. On days like this, when the cold hits you like a wall, remember that I too am just a vulnerable animal. The creature braves the world outside its warm burrow. Ooh, a nice little moped. I always park the bike on the side of the house. My sister was more careful about these things, insisting that it's too precious to leave outside. I respected her wishes for a little while, but I am what she isn't, practical. I dig in my pockets for the keys, only to realize it was already sitting in the lock. I turn the key back and forth, making sure there's still a charge. With my foot on the lever and my hand on the throttle, I find the right resistance and give it a good kick. The engine rips through the silence as it cold starts. I greet it warmly with some revs, leaving it to idle while I get my helmet on. I love this sound. It's different from the photo lines, but meditative in the same way. I get on the seat and grab the handlebars. It hums gently in my arms, responding to my commands. I give the throttle and we roll gently over the dirt path. I don't look back. The planes whip past as my motorcycle carries me. The only thing slowing me down are the potholes and grasses encroaching on the path. The wind feels good on my skin. The stress of the day slides off like butter. I make sure to ride out and check the mailbox every couple of days. I don't want to miss anything important. Not that I really get all that much mail. I guess it's just an excuse to ride out to town. I say town, but it's more like a village. A place with a handful of stores ran by clerks who dream of elsewhere, and old tired people who are waiting for time to bite them. In any case, it's nice to get out of the house. There's a lot of things that I don't like about the fall. It gets a little too cold for my liking here, but the first cool air after a long summer is novel in a way I can appreciate. The scenery has slowly been giving away to the dark hues. It's summer finally. I can't read apparently. It's summer's final dying breath. A signal that year is coming to a close. The feeling of morning doesn't catch up with me as I speed away. It's about a 20-minute ride to get to town. I push a bit extra on the throttle and attempt to escape the cold. Things are far apart out here. It almost feels by design. Here, the world moves slow. It's the kind of place where you'd know everyone, and anyone new from the city would be faced with scrutiny. I would know. I was one of them. My sister probably carried most of that burden for me, as as I've become quite well liked by the locals. I can't say I'm completely disliked, but it's more important to keep your distance. There are also some who don't take kindly to outsiders. Despite your best efforts, they will always see you as a stranger. They may treat you with kindness, but they won't see you as one of them. Maybe it's just human nature. I don't invite people into my home, and I don't expect them to invite me to theirs. Oop, okay. I swerved to miss a deep pothole, one of those scary ones that would send you flying. I saw a bike to look behind me. That could have been bad. The speed had been creeping up as I got deeper in my headspace. I took a deep breath and remembered that I'm not in a rush to get anywhere. I decided to take it easy for the rest of the ride. I pull up to the inordinately large post office. It stood nearly empty for a long time, but it had a recent surge of activity due to the establishment of a new base. There are no customers inside today, only the creak of the fan moving around its socket. I waste no time loitering, immediately heading to the counter. But there seems to be nobody around. I lean over the counter and looking to the staff area, but I see nobody in there. I use my ears too, but there's no sound of movement. Only the creaky fan on the ceiling. The little service bell waits for me to ring it. I tap my foot impatiently. Surely I wouldn't have to resort to it. I take a few paces around the room to kill time. They will surely be back soon. Several sacks of mail spew out the door leading to the staff area. Looks like they haven't gotten around to sorting it yet. I look at the clock on the wall, 7:30. You'd think that they'd be closing up their shift by now, but I guess not. Walk through the aisles of postcards. The postcards haven't changed in a long time, but I always like to stop and take a look at them anyways. Little portraits of places you'll never go. The cliffs remind me of home. What little I can remember of it, at least. They weren't as grand as these. I turn my head to look toward the counter. Deciding I'm done with window shopping, I take firm steps back up to the till bell. After some final internal deliberation, I finally decide to give it a press. A thud emanates from the countertop. There's the sound of shuffling from down under. Is she asleep? A nicely dressed green-haired girl emerges from under the desk. She starts mumbling. Dozed off again, that's no good. The postal worker turns away from the counter and rubs her eyes. Where was I? She yawns loudly, stretching her arms out. She seems to have not noticed my presence. After finishing her stretch, she turns towards the counter. Ooh, you rang, right? Yes, I did. What's up? Her eyes are reddish with a strange yet friendly look on her face. Mailliard, was it? Mailliard. You said it right. I open up my bag and pull out an envelope, placing it neatly on the counter, pushing it toward her with my index finger. Here. She looks at the letter for a second and then back at me. Oh, thanks. She tosses the letter into the overflowing mail bag behind her, causing a mild avalanche of envelopes. The mail clerk lazily goes after them. She gets on the floor, putting each envelope back in the sack with more caution this time. I suddenly feel guilty. Mailliard returns to the counter, staring off again. Oh, and my mail? Mailliard steps back to attention. Gotcha. 1 second. She turns around and starts to scan up and down the bins on the wall behind her. The address was something like Eagle? Hawk? Pigeon Way. Right. Mailliard runs her fingers along the label bins, mumbling to herself. She bumps into a large cart overflowing with letters and packages, causing some to fall out. Those military guys. Their clerk slowly scoots the cart away from the rest of the bins and continues looking up and down them. Pigeon Way. I swear it was right. Aha! She pulls out a couple of letters, flicks through them, and sets them on the counter in front of me. There you go. Thanks. Miller nods and gets on the floor to put the letters back into the cart. I flip through the letters. Milton's apartment catalog, junk flyer, the Daily Gamut, yesterday's issue. Huh. That's strange. Miss? The clerk looks up from the overflowing cart. Was this everything in there? Miller glances at the bin. Everything. Can you check again? She looks away, mumbling something under her breath. Miller then takes a look inside the bin, making a point to really stick her face into it. She takes out a few letters, flips through them again. None of the rest in here are for you, miss. That can't be right. Are you sure? Nothing for Lapine? Sorry. That's all of it. Thanks again, miss. I turn around and start toward the door. Hey, wait a sec. Mailer nearly slips, making her way around the counter. She comes up to me with an envelope in her hand. This one was on the ground. Without even looking at the envelope, I tear the flap open and shake the letter out from inside, unfold it, and read the top. Oh, it's blurry. Alkaline Corporation. Dear Miss Clara Lepine, we are writing to inform you that your location is scheduled for mandatory service upgrade set for September 5th. The hardware to be installed is a AW-1054 model multiplexer, as well as a TW-44 model teletypewriter. A service representative will be on site to assist you with the upgrade process. Please keep a good lookout. We thank you for your service. Hold that confidence. Your local branch office at Alkaline. My arm falls to my side with the letter in hand. Mallory looks happy to have done her job, I think. I smile at her, regardless. Thanks, miss. She keeps looking to me with that expression. I'm not really sure if it's one of accomplishment anymore. Then I take my leave. The night is cool and the breeze clings to my clothes. I sigh, my breath visible in the cool air. I lean against the wall of the post office. Lights from the inside illuminate the road, casting shadows. It's already gotten dark in the time I spent inside. I rest my head against the vending machine. It hums softly like a kitty. Good kitty. I look to the letter in my hand. It's scheduled for December 5th. That's only a couple days away. Multiplexer, teletypewriter, I'm not really sure what those could be. Technology is really moving quickly these days. It will probably be someone from the city, that service representative. I wonder what they're like. I fold the letter and put it in my purse. I twist the accelerator on my bike and start on my way back home. Crickets. Tall grass swing gently outside of the telephone exchange. Strange place to call home. The wooden door creaks open and I step in, remembering to lock behind me. The dust and shadows of the near empty switchboard room greet me. I nearly trip while removing my shoes and jacket. Maybe we should have some light. The ceiling light hums a familiar tone. It's taken some time for me to adjust to the quiet. It's hard not to be overly aware of your own actions when there's no one else around. I try to think about the things I should be happy. You miss nothing but games? Why do you miss nothing but games, Vic? Today was the first time the trip to the post office felt familiar to me, comforting even. The first time I drove there, I was so nervous about every little thing. Driving the bike, not getting lost, what to say to the mail clerk. As strange as she is, it's nice to have someone to talk to. But now it's just another part of my week, going through the motions. Routines, motions, a meal, a bath, sleepy. My yawn echoes through the building dark hall. I have my bed and a chair and a window. Hang up my uniform and put on my nightgown. I collapse onto bed face first, not feeling an urgency to get comfortable. It isn't really clear to me what it is I'm feeling at the moment. I'm a girl who enjoys consistency, I guess. If there was a word for the feeling, it'd probably be helpless. Before I start to really think about it, I close my eyes. That night, I was able to remember my dream. My sister and I were sitting on our old front porch. I was staring at the grass while Mom yelled at us. She was really upset that we'd gotten our new blouses dirty, and was really telling us off for not being more careful. I felt bad that she was going to have to spend so much time giving our clothes an extra scrubbing when she was already so busy with every day. Somehow, I knew that this happened because I had chased Clara through a mire. Before we could realize how deep the mud went, it was too late. When you're small like that, you really feel like you're going to sink into the ground. Clara was crying and I was too. There probably wasn't any real danger. I think we were both just scared of what Mom would say when we came back home. Do you know how many months I had saved up for these? Sometimes it feels like none of you care how much I do for you. The cherished part about this dream was our mother doing the laundry. Clara would never let her do that. Yes, I'm just in my progress. Sweet. So, okay, save game, log. Two? Oh, that's page 2. I guess hit log. Oh, no. Return? Okay, there we go. 425. 425 to 339. Connected. I give a great big yawn, as well as a good stretch of my arms. Early mornings usually don't have very many calls. 29 to 67. Connected. Huh. I haven't seen 29 come up in quite a while. With how slow the morning is going, maybe a little curiosity won't hurt. I plug into the monitor. Call connected. What kind, you ask? Whichever you think is most pleasing. How about chrysanthemums? They're in season right now. It'd be a good deal for you. They represent loyalty, perfect for someone in the service. That would be great. Okay then, a bouquet of chrysanthemums. And a card wording, thinking of you. Get well soon, Thomas. Yes, thank you. If you don't mind, can I ask what happened? Well, he's not doing so great. We got a letter saying he's too injured to fight now. Wouldn't tell us what happened, but when my wife saw him, he was in a full body cast. Couldn't move at all. Oh no, my condolences. I'm certainly wishing for a speedy recovery. Thanks. I'll be sure to pass it on. When will it be delivered? I have availability for a courier next week if that's alright. That's too late. Won't the flowers wilt by then? Laughter. The florist gets fresh flowers every day. They'll be as good as new. Will they be the same ones I picked out? Of course. Chrysanthemums. They represent loyalty, right? Yes. Okay, good. But I need it done tomorrow. I'll go have a chat with the florist. I'll see what I can do. Please hold for a moment. Okay. It is quiet for a long time. Hello? Hello? God damn it, I knew this was a waste of time. I'll pick the flowers myself. I don't need no florist. I'll just go to the hospital and see him. I should have done that in the first place. Caller disconnected. Thanks for holding. We appreciate your patience. We got a courier ready for tomorrow. We can have it delivered directly to the hospital. What's the name of the recipient? Hello? You still there? Call disconnected. Ooh, gay. That's unfortunate. Connected. Guess I came around to it a little. Well, that's wonderful news. We really need more people like you in the force. 2 numbers, longing to reach one another. People who will fight? Yes, people who will fight for their country, and stand up for what they believe in. We have enough people that will fight. We need more people who will listen. The magic of London communication happening before my eyes. Well, this is an infantryman position. We need people who will fight. I know, and I will. I just hope I can make a difference. The tiny flashing line above the digits tell me that something needs to be said, somewhere and to someone else. They're not all important conversations, but they all have a purpose. I can only imagine what it was like before all of this. The words of loved ones at the whim of a person who may or may not find their way to them. A letter lifted out of a bag by a gust of wind would mean words lost forever. I get a little teary-eyed thinking about it. Without thinking, I connect another call. It becomes mindless. My hands guide themselves. A to B. Wait for the lights to turn off. Unplug. Rinse and repeat. A to B. Repeat. A to B. Again. A to B. Fogginess. A to B. B to A. 1 to 2. Like living in a cloud, only it's one of those small, solitary clouds you sometimes see in the night sky. 2 to 3. My hands reach out, fingers waving about, creating barely visible shapes in air and moisture. Green and red lights blink in patterns across the sky, creating a grid. A rumbling at my feet, then a white light. From out in the distance in front of me, the light grows brighter, coming towards me. A train pierces through the foggy veil. The deafening sound of its engine turns to a screech as the train comes to a halt. A tall, stately man, in a vest and some sort of cape, steps off of the train, his boots sending a puff of dirt up. His movements seem guided, like they've been rehearsed hundreds of times before, in an almost ceremonial manner. He turns my way and begins to strut towards me. I then notice the black and gold cane he's carrying, stabbing the dirt with each stride. The man stops in front of me. I feel afraid to look at him. There's an immense presence, an impenetrable aura. I finally managed with the courage to look at him in the face. I noticed that his gaze isn't focused on me at all, but rather something behind me. He sets his eyes on me. Reality makes itself known in an unpleasant jolt. The feeling in my limbs returns to me. A trail of drool runs down my arm. As I lift my head from the switchboard, I fell asleep on the job again. Whoa. I see my pencil on the floor next to me, the thing that must have woken me up. The second thing I notice, there's so many unconnected calls. My stomach drops. Think about what could happen if I missed too many of these. I shake the sleepy away in my head and stretch my arms out a bit. 89 to 121. Connected. Ration day. Every Wednesday, everyone in town lines up to take government-supplied food. Stuff like rice, oats, cooking oil, and other essentials. It's still a pretty new program, so I'm not completely used to it. Substitutions quickly became something we all had to think about. Sometimes it's just a matter of substituting one thing for another. Other times, you just have to be okay with a little less. When it's getting close to the next ration day, it might just be rice and beans for a couple of days. Come to think of it, it's been particularly bad lately. I wonder why. Going on this trip always makes me think of my sister. Back then, I would be a passenger on the back of this bike. we would visit the various roadside farms markets to get fresh produce, since everyone seemed to know her. We'd even be gifted something nice from time to time. I'd always hide behind Clara back then. I was always scared of anyone who wasn't my sister. Now, the markets are mostly empty. The farmers have dwindled in number, and there's only a handful still around. Most of the ones remaining are working for the Defense Force now, so they don't have time to sell their produce. So it's really been a big help that we have the rationing system now. Even the food isn't as good, it's at least a little bit easier to get to, even if I have to wait in line. Come to think of it, all of that farmland is under control of the Defense Force now. I wonder what they're doing with it. As I get closer to the intersection where I turn off for the community buildings, I see 3 people standing there. They're in uniform and they're holding guns. I don't recognize them, but I know they're military. Not sure what they're doing around here, though. I had to slow down as I make my approach. These soldiers seem to notice me and they start to move to block my path. My bike comes to a stop right in front of them. Halt. I'm a little surprised. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that in real life before. My bike has already stopped, so I'm not sure what they want me to do. 2 girls stand tactically to block my path from both sides. Their hands are on their guns. The third stands a bit further behind them, though with her rifle still around her shoulder. I raise my hands up to show that I'm not holding anything. No sudden movements. Name and business. I'm just getting some rations. Upon hearing me speak, the 2 near identical soldiers look at each other in surprise. I lift my goggles so they can see my face. They study me up and down with their eyes. The one in the back has a minimal presence and seems to prefer to stay out of it. Huh. A woman. They seem to let their guard down a bit. One of them even slings the rifle back over their shoulder. I don't know what's so surprising, but I'm glad I don't have to worry about getting shot. What are you doing out here, little miss? Not a good idea to be out here alone. How young do they think I am? Pretty sure they're not much older than me. Are you guys lost? Shouldn't you be out at the front lines? Hey, Lemon. What's your buddy? How you doing today? What in the cousin fucking tarnation is this? This is a visual novel called Hello Girl. As far as I know, the main character is an operator who connects phone calls to, well, people long distance, I guess. Also, Cora, I don't know how long you said that, but Ricky smells like dead oysters left out in the freezer for a month being eaten by a oil-covered pelican. Okay, bye. Thank you. Bye. Have a good rest of your night. But how you doing today, Lemon? Twintails, lost? Twintails' shoulder stifles a laugh, her cheeks puffed out. Of course we're not lost. We're doing important work here. Classified work. Ah, okay. Keeping the peace. Making sure little girls like you don't get hurt. Well, I'm doing fine. Yeah, you might be doing fine now, but you never know when the enemy might strike. So you gotta watch your back. I wonder what they've been told. I understand. Is it okay to... You can't say we're the ones who are lost. Don't you know? This is a military road. You're the one who's lost. Since when? And you know, we've been on the front lines too. Eastern Shores, 23rd Company. Really? Yeah, you can imagine the things we've seen. They're still going. I don't think they're going to listen to me. They start to argue with each other about who saw the most gruesome thing. At least track of the conversation. I get the feeling that they're not supposed to be here. I take a look at the third soldier. She keeps a stern look at me for what feels like an eternity, even though only a second or two has passed in reality. Eventually, she looks down at the ground. I guess she has nothing to say. I think about saying something to her, but I feel I've meddled with her little operation enough. Hey, are you listening? Am I free to go? Huh? Am I under arrest? Oh, no. So I can go? No. She doesn't do anything wrong. I'll be going now. Only because we're letting you. I guess my worries were misplaced. I didn't have to worry about these girls. There's a couple of kids. I pushed down the pedal and the bike rolls with me, leaving the soldier behind. You barely won your Elden Ring match, but it's okay. What do you mean your Elden Ring match? There's Elden Ring bingo? Also, I'm, with your emote, I need to resize it. Every time I open it into my, fucking Microsoft Photo, whatever it's called, it just perpetually has this blue moving circle. When I looked it up and wanted me to reset my app data cache for my photos, and I'm like, all right, that's something I do later when I'm not about to stream. Because I saw that you were on my friends list, so I was trying to deepen avatar. Bingo. 1 second. What am I looking at?
Bro, what do you mean?
That's a lot of cats. Huh. Interesting. So the guy you were playing against name was a victim? With the day's rations in hand, I shuffle back into my home base. The usual nightly doings, though much sleepier because of the hassle I was given today getting there. I think about the things I used to cook with my sister, the fantasy, all sorts of delicious things lulling me to sleep. But you given objectives on a board and you just do them. Also, know his name was Vex, but for my overlay, I made him a victim. Oh, okay, that's nice. That's lovely of you, Lemon. I'm blinded. My eyelids are being held open. A ray of light flicking directly into it, rapidly. The light feels more intense with each flicker. I start to hurt more and more. Then my eyes are allowed to close. There's a warmth in my eyes that I've never felt before. I try to reach out and touch them, but my arms don't cooperate. Mumbling from an invisible congregation. Although I can't understand them, I feel like I'm being gossiped about. It's always like this. It feels... One of the figures make themselves visible. A short girl with long, unkempt hair. Something about her feels familiar. I try to piece together memories in my head, but they all fizzle away as soon as they're known. She tilts her head curiously. I focus on the way her hair covers her face as she does this. I try to speak to her, but my mouth doesn't cooperate either. She holds her hand out with her palm facing up. This gesture feels comforting. I start to feel a little sad that I can't take her hand. She steps back, sudden hesitation, turning her head left and right, panicked. I start to understand her concern. I'm nothing anymore. You play tomorrow at 3, I should come. Alrighty. If I'm not doing any errands or chores, I'll go and stop by. It seems interesting for sure. I sit patiently, waiting for the first call to come in. It's 5 minutes past the opening time. There's always a rush of calls coming in right about now. A lot of very important phone calls. People eagerly waiting to call their families before the lines get too busy, or to call their bosses to let them know they're sick, but no lights have come on today. After some time, I start feeling anxious, and I patch myself in on one of the lines, but it's dead quiet. I try several. Not even interference can be heard. This only means one thing. The lines aren't even connected. I can't even phone out to ask what's going on. I start pacing around impatiently. What is going on? I look outside, listening for sirens like I've been told to do. I even suspend my fear of the radio and tune into the emergency frequency, but there was nothing. Could it be possible that I've been fired? Those calls I missed yesterday, did they finally catch up to me? Then I recall the note from the other day. Maintenance day. Does that mean that everything should have been disconnected? Who is taking my calls right now? I read the note again. I don't see any mention of the phones being shut off. Right then I hear a knock on the door. In my panic, I hadn't even heard the guest drive up. Is that the company representative? I'm not even wearing my uniform. Well, 1 minute. I hastily slip out of my nightgown and grab the uniform off the rack. I look at myself in the mirror one last time, making sure that my hair parted how I like it. I undo the locks on the door and open it wide. I'm here for the maintenance job. The person standing by the entrance is tall and dressed in standard issue work overalls. And that's 3 my time? Already. Oh, bye, Lemon. Enjoy the rest of your night, buddy. At least I've been staring them down, so I quickly blurt out a greeting. Hi. They give me a polite nod, and I hastily return it with a full-blown bow. I keep the door up shyly, separating me and the representative. Can you take me to the foreman of this office? Foreman? What's a foreman? We stand there for a while, blinking at each other. May I come in? Ah, yes, of course. I move out of the way, hiding my body behind the open door. The tall person steps inside, making sure to take their muddy boots off by the entrance. Somehow, seeing them in socks makes them seem a bit less intimidating. I close the door behind us and turn around to face them. The worker looks around, seeming somewhat confused. It's just you today? I look down at my feet. It's just me in general. I see. They walk around the room, throwing stray gazes at my belongings. Very lived in. I'm not sure what to say in response. They raise the clipboard that they've been holding and walk over to the row of switchboards. They stop at each one, and after giving it a good look, makes a note on the clipboard. I'm not sure what they're writing down, but I'm sure it's important. During a visit like this, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, so I just continue tending them as they inspect the place. Do I get a passing grade? Heh. I'm not here to grade you, miss. The person doesn't look up as they speak to me. I know. You're here to grade the switchboards. After working their way through the switchboard terminals, they look up at the cables running from up the wall from each unit. They join each in a braid near the ceiling. I never really thought about how they all connect together. I'm just here to make sure that the equipment is set up to code. They follow the cables that span across the wall, terminating above a metal door in the corner of the room. They also make a note here. And if it's not, make the necessary upgrades. Well, is the equipment up to code? The worker rubs their chin. No, miss. Who let it get this bad? Suddenly I feel a little intimidated. I'm sorry, I didn't know. You should have phoned in to let us know earlier. There's quite the mess for me to clean up. Ah, don't worry. You've taken good care of the switchboards, I can tell. But protocols haven't been followed here. That's something we'll have to address. I look around the room. Everything's just the way Clara left it, but I never knew that there was some sort of problem with the way she had set things up. This is just how I've always known it. Is that something that needs to change? The representative looks around at several doors leading out of the room. Is there an office here? An office? I think so. I take a key box off on the wall and look for the right key to use. I get one on the tag that says office and lead the representative to one of the doors. The building is just too big for me, so I keep these doors locked and pretend they're not here. The representative smiles at me, saying nothing. The door opens my key, leading to a small room with a desk, a chair, and some filing cabinets. The representative steps past me and sits down at the desk, using their own keyring to open the filing cabinet. I guess they've done this before. What's in there? Maintenance records mostly. Schematics, blueprints, and the like. They go through the drawer, picking out a few folders and setting them on the desk. Puff of dust rises from the folders as the books are put down. The representative doesn't cough. They open one of them up, going through the documents within. I look over their shoulder, trying to parse the information on the pages, but I can't understand it. This looks complicated. The representative looks up from the books. It's a circuit diagram, miss. It covers how the switchboards are wired, part of your basic training. Oh, I'm not very good at this stuff. The worker looks at me, puzzled. Were you not trained by Alkaline? I shake my head at them. Then, do you know when the last maintenance job was? I don't know. The representative sighs. I don't know a whole lot about this. My sister taught me how to do this job. Your sister? Everyone taps their pen on the desk thinking. They bring out yet another folder of papers. This one looks like a directory of some sort. Each page has a table of names and hire dates and who was their manager. They flip through pages all the way to the very last one. The worker puts their finger on one of the names at the bottom of the list. Miss Lapine. That's me. Claire Lapine? I shake my head. That's my sister. I'm Anna. I see. So you're not actually working for the company? I am. You do, but you're not on the ledger. But I work here every day. The representative sighs and puts the folder back in the drawer. Don't worry, miss. I'll write that your sister was present. They stand up, leaving the room with a rolled schematic in their hand. I look down the filing cabinet, feeling that I might have done something wrong this whole time. I follow the worker back to the main room. The representative sleuths around the room, and then at the schematics, they appear deep in concentration. So you know my name now, but I don't know yours. The representative looks up from the diagram. Name's Courier. They point to a name tag on their uniform. Oh, I thought that was just a title. They look down the tag and exhale lightly, as if amused by the mistake. Couriers deliver things. I fix things. I smile at them, and they smile back mildly before turning to the blueprint. I shoot a closer look at the diagram they're holding. It seems to resemble the room we're in. A few of the rooms have labels on them like office and break room. Curiously, some of the rooms in here don't match what they currently are, like my bedroom. I guess that was added later. Courier taps their pen on the paper, then looks up to the wires in the ceiling. I'm going to need to take a look at the wiring in the basement. The basement? Courier then points to the middle door in the corner of the room, to which the cables lead. The trunk lines are down there. Basement. There's a basement? I've heard scary sounds coming from that steel door before. It's the one I say the furthest away from. It's clearly an ominous place where it's better not to go. Of course, I say nothing about this out loud. In the end, I just nod and follow as a representative to the door. The door is locked, so I go for the key box again. After poking around, I can't seem to find the right key. I have no recollections of ever seeing one labeled basement or anything like that. It doesn't come as much of a surprise. Many of the hooks have keys that are missing. Sis never told me about the basement, so I don't know. I looked at the courier and they looked back at me. They left the key ring hanging off their belt. It's large, with many different size keys on it. They flip through them before finding the one they need. I'll have to go get a new key made for this door. I stand a bit further back as Courier unlocks the door. It opens with a horrible creak. You can probably open every door in this building with those keys, and then some. Oh god. I expect there would be a room on the other side, but just there's a staircase leading down. The sunlight from the window casts a light down the stairs. It seems to continue to the right, but I can't see where it ends. Oh, they're gone. Courier heads down, as if the creepy stairs doesn't bother them at all. I guess it's not that surprising. They probably do stuff like this all the time. The wooden stairs creak loudly as the representative descends, and it makes me wince a little. When they reach the bottom, a switch clicks on the wall. Nothing seems to happen, much to their dismay. They lift a small pen flashlight from their belt and continue into the darkness. I'm not sure if they want me to follow them or not, but I don't want to leave my guest to wander around alone. I take a deep breath and put my right foot on the first step. I hold the handrail and I take it down slowly. Courier made it look really easy. I guess this is why they have the job and not me. Not that my job isn't important. Their staircase seems to get longer as I descend. There's a dusty smell in the air. I don't think anyone has been down here for a long time. I'm not sure what I expected to find behind this door. Certainly not a whole other floor. I try not to think about the empty space growing in this building. There's a reason why I keep these doors locked. I poke my head around the corner and see the representative already at work surveying the basement. They're dimly lit by the small flashlight held in their mouth. The room is tall and narrow, spanning an unknown depth in the darkness. The walls are lined with what appears to be many units of the same machine. Courier has lifted a cover off one of them and is poking around inside. I had no idea all of this was down here. I approach the work so I don't have to be alone in the dark. They have a clipboard in one hand, a pen in the other, filling out some sort of checklist. They look to me, taking a flashlight out of their mouths so they can speak clearly. Hey, would you mind holding this flashlight for me? I nod and I take it from their hand, making sure to point it where they're working. It's made of metal, and it's surprisingly heavy for its size. I didn't know they made flashlights this small. I wonder how it works. The courier's poking around inside the machine with a screwdriver, opening little compartments up and looking inside. It's a miracle that this stuff still works. The corp has really been slacking on maintenance. You mean Alkaline? Yeah. Ever since they got nationalized, HQ's been cutting corners. Oh. I don't know what any of those words mean. They're rife with cash, but they don't spend it on anything useful. Maybe when this war is over, they'll get their act together. Until then, here I am, fixing their mess. You seem to work hard, Courier. I'm not sure your work is appreciated. They give me a warm smile before turning back to the machine. Have you been at Alkaline long? Courier looks back at me as I ask my question, but continues talking as they work. Ever since I got old enough. Must be really smart then. Courier laughs. Ha, maybe so. This is all I know how to do. Courier finishes up their work on this machine, making sure to close the cover before moving into the next one. I diligently follow them with a flashlight, careful not to get in their way. They pop another cover open with a screwdriver. Think it's made out of some sort of bakelite. They lift it off and set it aside. It looks heavy. On the inside, the machine looks very similar to the last one. What are these machines? They're part of the exchange. These are the switches, panels. These are the switches, panel switches to be precise. This bank uses the newer model of straight panel switches. They're a lot more reliable than the old rotary ones. Rotary? Yeah. The old ones were a nightmare to maintain. Lots of moving parts. Don't even get me started on the wiring. As you might have noticed, there's a lot of empty spaces down here. That's because the old banks were so big. You could fit a whole room in the space left behind those things. I look behind me and scoot a bit closer to Courier. But why are they under my house? We just do the phone calls here. They're used to route transmission to other central offices. They are what make the phone calls happen. They're a part of it, at least. The telephone poles outside are like the roads of the systems, and these switches are like the intersections. Oh, but I thought I made the connections, like when I plugged the wires in upstairs. Yes, that's a part of it, though maybe not for much longer. I wonder what they meant by that. So, the basement is the brain of the phone system? You could say that. There's a lot of brains, though, not just in this place. They're all connected together, forming a network of brains. Brain network. This building mostly serves for long-distance lines. There's not a lot of local line connections to make, so most of the incoming transmissions are just passing through to elsewhere. Courier points to a logo on my uniform. See? That's the logo for long-distance division. Whoa. I didn't even know there was so much to it. I thought telephones were just a wire. Courier chuckles. That would make my job a lot easier. They check some things off their clipboard and move on to the next panel. So, how long will it take you to fix them? It's not just a matter of fixing the panels, there's also some other stuff that need attention. The panels, they're just the most obvious problem. It's a wonder they're still functional. They need to be totally replaced, and I haven't looked at the wiring yet. I would say about a week tops. A week? I can't connect calls for a whole week? That's all I know how to do. I don't know what I would do if I couldn't do that. What am I supposed to do for a week? Enjoy your vacation? Vacation? I've never been on a vacation before. Does that mean I can go anywhere I want? Like the beach? Never tried to be anywhere else before. Nowhere but here. This is my home, and Clara could come any day and all. I don't know what I would do if I wasn't here when she came back home. No, I can't go anywhere. I have to stay here. Well, you could always help me. Would that make it go faster? Not really, but you'd be company. When I'm out on maintenance, I don't usually get to talk to people. And you're certainly an interesting girl. I don't mind helping you out. I don't know what else I would do anyway. Consider yourself lucky. The only time I had time off work from Only time I had time off from work was when I fell down a scissors lift a few years ago. Why did that give you a vacation? Well, I broke my leg. Hard to get around. Oh. But if you'd rather do this, that's fine too. So is that a guy? I can't really tell if that's a guy. Their name is Courier, to be fair. Come evening, Courier and I headed back upstairs. We'd been down there so long that it was already dark out. I apologized I didn't have any food to offer them, but they said they were fine. Also offered a place to sleep for the night, but they said they had booked a hotel room. They probably thought the notion of staying at my house was a bit strange. I didn't think of it strange at all. I was just trying to be hospitable. I didn't really have a guest room anyway. I just had my room and Clara's, and her room as well. I don't think I could let anyone stay in there. I wouldn't want to make Courier sleep on the floor, so I guess it was for the best. They said they would be back tomorrow morning to start work properly. I wonder what sort of changes they'd bring to the place. Change is something I'm not used to. I've lived here for so long that I've gotten used to everything being the same. After Clara left, I made a point of it. That way, things won't be strange when he comes back. I went to bed early that night. I was tired from all the going-ons of the day. I'm really not used to having guests over. I mostly keep it to myself, but without any phone calls to make, I guess I just have to socialize. It's not so bad. Courier is nice. They're a bit strange, but I guess I'm a bit strange too. It seems to work out somehow. Without thinking too hard about anything, I let myself drift off to sleep. I hope another bad dream. I dreamt of the ocean. The waves were crashing against the shore, and the wind was blowing through my hair. I was standing on the beach looking out at the horizon. The sky was all gray. It looked like it was about to rain. I was barefoot, my feet were sinking into the sand. The waves were rolling against my legs. But I couldn't feel any sensation of cold. Courier was there too, standing distantly on the shoals. Or was it Clara? I couldn't tell. I tried to call out to them, but they didn't seem to hear me. They were just staring out at the ocean. I tried to catch a glimpse of their face, but it kept changing. Help, they said. Help me. I didn't know what was wrong. Is a little rain really that bad? I wonder what happened to the sister. Clara. Yes, I was just saying my progress. Alright, and I do apologize for this being kind of a short stream, but I do need to go ahead and eat dinner since it's getting kind of late. But I definitely am going to go ahead and return with this game probably tomorrow morning. But do let me know what you guys thought of this short little visual novel stream. I definitely will also come a little better prepared, considering my voice was kind of going in and out a bit. But I do want to thank Lemon, Vic, Cora, and Andrew for stopping by. If you guys did enjoy the stream, please check out the main channel for some edited content. Check out the second channel for the VODs and then just appear off of Twitch. And yeah, things went by, and you guys will see me again either tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening with Johnny Boy. But yeah, things went by, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.